Mountains roll down to the sea. I wish you were here with me. It's breakfast with Bob.
Joe man, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babber, brought to you by HOKA, One, Polar Halo Neuroscience, Velofix, Today's Plan, Normatec, Four Seasons Resort Hualalai, where our next guest joined us last year, and Triathlete Magazine. Please give it up for third place last year, Sarah Crowley. And she got to go to Four Seasons. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that was an experience. That was nice. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So you're just coming off a training block up in beautiful Utah.
Yeah, so we do head there every year, and this year I decided to stay a little bit longer, just so that we could come west to head to Hawaii, and yeah, just had a great time. We trained up at Park City, and
a lot of altitude.
A lot of altitude, and some pretty good weather too, so great place.
Love it. So you go, you're 15th here in 2016, right? And then you get third. How do things change for you when all of a sudden you're on the podium at the most important race on the planet?
Yeah, I guess people have their eye on you a little bit more than in the past. So, yeah, I guess you've just got to keep the blinkers on and keep the training going and try and maintain what you were doing already.
Right.
Can be a little bit distracting, but I think, yeah, we've managed that pretty well this year.
And this year, third at Ironman Frankfurt?
Yeah.
That's, you know, people, when we talk about major Ironman events, that field is always stacked. What did you take away from that race?
I went into that race a little underdone. We'd had sort of a late start to the season, and yeah, look, I mean, I don't think I didn't, at the time I thought I was fine and fit, but I think going off it, we knew we had a fair bit of work to do, and I think for this year, it's kind of worked in my favour in that we've built into the season a little bit more than last year. You'll see a race quite a lot leading into Kona, and maybe physically I was really ready to go for Kona, but mentally I might have had a little bit of an edge, a little fried. So yeah, this year it's kind of in a bit better trajectory towards the race on Saturday.
What I love about your background, there was a point where you decided, you know what, if I'm going to be good at this sport, I got to go and become a better cyclist and a better runner. And you focused on just doing those individual sports. You raced cycling, you raced bikes, and then you ran road races. And how important was that time focusing on those sports in getting you to where you are now?
Well, look, I think I just learned a little bit more about myself, especially since some of those races require a lot more endurance. I'd come from an ITU background, and so I sort of went away and did a little bit of sort of half marathon running and things, and marathon running, and yeah, and the road cycling and those sort of things. So I think, yeah, look, it taught me the perseverance and a few of the different things that are required around the nutrition and all those sort of things,
right,
before stepping into the long course. That's to test if I liked it as well.
So was that really, you had done some ITU and realized, okay, I like this sport, but I think I'd be better off if it was, you know, non-drafting?
Well, yeah, I think at the time my swim wasn't a strength of mine. So, yeah, and I also went back to work after a couple of injuries, and I could manage doing some of the sort of running and the riding whilst working at the same time.
And what type of work? You're
an accountant.
Yes.
Well, I'd rather say I'm in finance, but I have to call myself accountant by trade, unfortunately.
So you're balancing working, real job, and then doing. When did you make that decision that I'm going full-time athlete?
I had some good results towards the end of 2015, but they were over a mixed range of distances, and I didn't really have any particular focus to any of it, and it was frustrating for me because I knew that I could get more out of myself, but I just didn't have the correct direction. So, yeah, look, I had to really think about it because I'd obviously been off of work previously, and it was a big decision to then sort of maybe go full time again into the sport. So, and a big commitment, of course. And so, yeah, look, we looked at it, and then at the same time, my current coach Cam was coming back from directing a cycling team, and it just sort of worked out really well for me.
And so you had to go and tell your boss that I'm quitting my job to go be a professional athlete?
Yeah, it's again is what I got.
Because you did that once before, right?
That's right. Yeah, Deloitte supported me throughout the whole time that I was working, racing, trying to race whilst working, etc. Yes. So they've been very supportive, and yeah, that's, you know, I guess he kind of probably half expected it, right, given the results I was getting leading up to that.
So after you get third, obviously, you've been on the podium, and if you're on a podium, you really don't like looking up at anybody. So what are the goals this year?
Oh, look, I think for me it's a matter of, we obviously had something right for last year, and I've continued with that this year, and we've had some good success coming into this race. And I think, there's nothing drastic that we've changed this year. We've just tried to maintain, get to where we were and maintain that. Now, obviously, this is the Hawaiian Ironman, and it's up to the athlete on the day. So if I have my best race, like, who knows? But that's my goal for the weekend, is to have my best performance. And yeah, I just look forward to seeing what we can get out of myself this year.
And last year, there was a lot of racing going on into the energy lab, out of the energy lab, on the Queen K Highway. In the past, we really didn't see a lot of that. Usually people were pretty separated. You and Heather, and there was Kaisa Sally, and there was just a lot of battling going on. I'm imagining that it's stressful, but it's pretty fun at the same time.
I think that's why you do the sport. It's to have those moments. Like, they're the things you probably look back on and say, oh, well, that was kind of cool to be able to experience that. So, look, I'm not frightened of that, having raced short course with a zillion athletes in the past. It's not something that frightens me. It's just important to stick to your own race strategy in those moments. But yeah, obviously stepping back now, it's pretty exciting what we did go through last year, which was pretty cool.
And is this a race you can win?
I think so, indeed. But like I said, it's going to come down to whether you can have your absolute best performance. And I think for me, it's a matter of unlocking what I think is my weapon, which is my run. I don't feel as if I've had my best run in an Ironman event yet. I've seen it in a couple of other races. I had a really good race run at Penticton for the world title last year.
Yes.
And throughout my ITU, I had some really quick runs. And we've certainly been training at the level. But yeah, it'll if I can unlock that, then it'll be something special for me on Saturday.
I love it. This is the last race of the season, or do you look at other races after Ironman, or this is it?
Well, look, given that I've sort of built into the year, I probably have a little bit more legs to go for the rest of the season, so we'll see how we go. But, yeah, look, I'm thinking about going down to South America and having a hit out at some of that. I've never been to South America. It sounds pretty cool. So that's the fun thing about triathlon and Ironman. You can go anywhere in the world with it. So we'll see how I pull up after this race. But at the moment, this is the only thing that's on the radar.
not many people are training through this race.
No.
People this is my
I'm just
B
doing
race.
this to get to
Arizona
for this next year. No, certainly this is the race for this season, and it's been sort of on the radar for more than a year that this year would be like we'd build into this. So yeah, look, I'm looking forward to Saturday. We'll see what happens, see how I pull up for the rest of the year, but this is more important.
This is it.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah Crowley has been our guest. Sarah, thank you so much. Poncho Man, take us out.
Mountains roll down to the sea. I wish you were here with me and breakfast with Bob.